Okay, I'll start the video.
Hey, Gary. I might have to leave a little bit early today, Bobbie, but I'll
Hi,
start.
Kari. Hi, Marnie. Well, fancy seeing you again, Marnie.
Long time.
Still out of breath from the exercise class.
Yeah, this will be a good.
By providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, ConnecTogether, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative. Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobbie Seale-Cobiskey. Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson. Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff. And other initiatives, including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series.
Also coming up on July 22nd, we have an Accessible Community Forum on accessible housing in British Columbia.
Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay, you can start, Bobbie.
Thank you, Kassar. So I've taken to saying good day to everyone rather than good morning or good afternoon. And the reason for that is that this lovely forum, adaptive yoga, and not just the adaptive yoga, there are various adaptive programs. We are becoming sorry, I'm a crybaby, a global community. And so, thank you always, of course, to the Disability Foundation. Get your crybaby. Tears of gratitude and joy. So the Disability Foundation and ConnecTra. So ConnecTra, for those of you who are not familiar with ConnecTra, maybe joining us for the first time today, ConnecTra is an affiliate of the Disability Foundation and really worthwhile checking out. I encourage you to do so if you feel so inclined. And so for now, however, an invitation is always to begin a yoga practice by finding a comfortable sitting position. And so sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. And so it is challenging for our nervous system to calm down if we're uncomfortable in our bodies. And then if you'd like, and it's available to an invitation to take your, in my opinion, the most beautiful part of our body, your hands to your heart center. And so it might be palms open, maybe palms together. And so if this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. And so we never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. And then as ready, lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. So setting aside whatever concerns, worries you may have had before the practice, for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. As ready, relax your arms by your side, whoever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to shake your hands. And so if it feels okay to shake your hands vigorously, go for it. However, if it doesn't feel right or doesn't feel comfortable, move your hands in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And reaching up to the skies, so maybe saying good morning, afternoon to our ancestors. Then hinging from the hips, coming forward a little. Good day. And reaching up one more time, waving to our ancestors. I never tire of sharing the story of the woman I taught for a few years who lived to be well over 100. And we were doing this lovely practice one day. And she said, I feel like my ancestors are waving back. Then just like you're shaking water off your hands, let your arms flow down by your side. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then an invitation to rest your hands, your arms by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And to soften your gaze. So maybe your gaze moves downward. And ground down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our Buddha belly is soft, spine is long, shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head. So you might imagine you have a thread on top of your head and it's pulling you up to the sky. Tuck your chin in slightly so our chin is level with the floor or the earth. Allow your facial muscles to soften and release. Our attention moves inward. Notice your alignment, knees, ankles, hips, shoulders stacked over hips. And then as ready, an invitation to, without changing anything, to bring your awareness to your breath. And so maybe noticing that as we inhale, things expand. On exhale, things contract. If you'd like, and it's available to you, place your hands in a triangle around your navel center. And so on inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Keeping one hand on your Buddha belly, take your other hand to your heart center. And maybe noticing the pattern of movement of your breath between your upper torso and your belly. And then see if you can begin to extend your breath. So when we extend our breath, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding stress and tension. At any point, if you notice your mind gets distracted and wants to wander off, know that that's okay. That's the nature of our mind. Simply bring your awareness back to your breath. And now see if you can add a quality of softness to your breath. So you might imagine if you have a fur baby. So these days I'm thinking horses, rabbits, dogs, cats, fur kid. Imagine that you're petting your friend. Or it might be that you imagine you just tasted something delicious. And see if you can bring that same softness to areas of your body that you feel are tight or knotted. Our breath is long and smooth and soft as we breathe in and as we breathe out. And just for a few more breaths, or as long as feels comfortable, keep a simple breathing exercise flowing. If it's challenging to focus on the breath, maybe explore bringing your awareness to the sounds around you. So sound is always in the present moment. So I can hear the sound of a truck picking up our compost. I can hear the sound of bird song in my yard. And maybe noticing the gentle tone of my voice and in a loving way, bring your awareness back to your breath. It's our old friend and breath. And so wherever you are in your breath cycle, allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. Your natural rhythm. Maybe observing the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And drop your chin towards your chest. And gradually blink your eyes. And so we are falling awake, not asleep. Falling awake, not asleep. And so notice if you felt a subtle shift in your energy. And so anytime we practice these simple breathing exercises, I actually like to refer to them as techniques, not exercises so much. It acts in a way like a bridge between our body and our mind. So that body-mind connection we hear so much about in yoga. And so on that happy note at this time, I'd like to reintroduce a few of the yoga toys that I'd like to use in my yoga practice. So out of my yoga toy box, you might be curious why I refer to them as yoga toys and not props in the toolbox. I have an aversion to the phrase toolbox. So toolbox, the implication would be that we are broken and we need fixing. And that's not the school that I come from. So one of my yoga toys, but it's an old paradigm shift. So sometimes I slip back into the other. So one of the first things that I love to share with my students, people who participate in the class, is maybe a yoga mat. So rolled up, you're seated in the chair. If there's space behind you, it can feel really lovely placed along our spine. And so invite you, if you have a yoga mat, maybe grab that at this time. And so I actually learned this from a physiotherapist who introduced yoga, some of the first adaptive yoga classes that came out of GS Strong and into the community centers. And so if I remember correctly, her suggestion was that placing the yoga mat along our spine helps to counter some of the contracting we do their shoulders and so on. So there's collapse in our chest. I'm sure you can imagine it's hard in our breathing, our heart, etc., etc. So if that feels great for you, wonderful. The other way we can use it is maybe at the end of the yoga practice, if you're able to place your chair against the wall and then just kind of lean back on it for your final relaxation. So anyway, I know some of you are wheelchair users, you have amazing chairs, so set up just right for you. The other thing that few things that I'll introduce today are eye pillows. And so for me, the curious thing about the eye pillows is I use them more for my hands than I do my eyes. And the reason I use them for my hands, they're a really lovely, cool way to encourage my hands to soften and release. So I have an intention tremor, currently I'm aging. And so it helps to quiet the tremor. And they just feel lovely in my hand and hands. So it might be something that you can pick up along the way. You might have something at home that mirrors or mimics that. And lastly, for today, I'd like to reintroduce a yoga strap. So a yoga strap could be anything. It might be a tie, a stick. I know Marnie So you had said something about hockey sticks. So anything that we can hold, maybe a little wider than outer shoulder distance. So that's her shoulder openers. Anyway, moving on, starting to feel like talking head. So let's repose. So if possible, walk your hips forward in the chair. Come forward about 2/3 of the way. If you're needing or would like the back of the chair for support today, honor that. So yoga meets us right when we are. And then an invitation to ground down through your sits bones or your feet, pardon me. Center and ground through the soles of your feet. And we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. Root down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. So you might move the buttock flesh away from your sits bones. And our Buddha belly is soft, spine is long, shoulders are back and down. Lift up through the crown of the head. And so from here, I'd like to share a practice with you to help strengthen our lungs. And so palms face up on your lap. On an inhale, take your hands up to your forehead or wherever you can reach comfortably. Open up your armpits. So stretching our lungs vertically. On exhale, bow your head towards your heart. Float your hands back down to your thighs. So 3 more times. On inhale, reaching up. Hands on your forehead. Open up your armpits. So lots of lymph nodes in our armpits. On exhale, float your arms down. So the inhale begins the movement. Open, stretching our lungs vertically. On exhale, float your arms down. So one last time on inhale, reaching up. Open, open. And release. And so it's ready, an invitation to take your hands to your heart center. So palms open, palms together. Maybe it feels better to have your hands on your belly. On an inhale, extend your arms up and away. And then making soft fists, which can help with arthritis in your hands. Take your hands back to your heart center, maybe your Buddha belly. Inhale, extend up and away. So I feel good with my arms just a little lower than my shoulders today. So you might feel comfortable with your arms a little lower or higher. And so in your own time and rhythm, I'd like to invite you to keep this gentle heart opener flowing. And if you'd like, imagine the sun at your heart center. On your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale. This time on your exhale, making the bumblebee sound, if you'd like, a humming sound. So you might notice a humming sound extends our exhale. Place one hand on your Buddha belly, the other on your heart center. And maybe notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And shake out again. Woohoo! A little more vigorous this time. A little bum dance in there. So for the sensations that we want to experience in our yoga practice, our sensation of grounding. So Matthew Sanford, the quote from him would be, he is spinal cord injured, has an amazing story. Might want to check him out. Minneapolis. teaching and training teachers to become adaptive yoga teachers, and of course has other classes. So anyways, he would say that you have to go down to go up. So ground through your feet. Okay, sits bones on the chair. So in a way, when we're seated in a chair, sits bones become the feet of our bones. So another sensation that we want to experience in our yoga practice is expansion. Inhale, extend your arms up and away, soft fist, take your hands back to your heart. Another sensation we'd like to experience in our yoga practice is a sense of balance. And so let's move into practice to hopefully embody, experience a sense of balance. So for this movement, we're going to be moving forward and back in our chair. So if you know that balance is a challenge for you, I'd like to invite you to have whatever device you need that keeps you stable in your chair. And so as ready, invitation to take your hands to your hips. If you have hands or wrist arthritis, something going on in your hands that makes it hurt to have an open palm, but explore soft fist. Totally okay to take hold of the side of your chair for balance if you'd like. And so on inhale, lengthen your spine so we can create space in your vertebrae. Hinging from the hips, come forward. And so it's not about seeing how far we can go. We just come to that just right amount of effort and ease. And then as ready, rock back up. So an invitation to keep this gentle movement flowing in your own time and rhythm. And it can be interesting to close our eyes as we practice these movements. And then as ready, come on back to neutral spine. And now I'd like to invite you to release your arms by your side. Take a moment, rest your hands if you like. And let's come into a practice to embody or experience a sense of rhythm. And so rhythm is one of the things that tends to diminish as we get older. And so I'd like to invite you to imagine your arms like seaweed. And I'd like you to begin to move in ways that you don't typically move. So moving your arms. And so the seaweed is at the bottom of the ocean. And it's making its way up towards the light. And so now we're getting into the deeper tissue in our bodies and those places that maybe we've forgotten we have places. And so stretch into the stretch. Get bigger in space. We tend to shrink. Notice where your body is talking to you and send your breath there. So our breath is considered a very amazing part of our life force. And then moving on, maybe notice where it doesn't feel like there's so much energy moving through, or maybe there's a diminished sensation, paralysis. All the more reason to send our life force and our breath there. And I feel like there's not as much energy moving through. And then moving in your own time and rhythm, maybe listening to your body, tuning in. Notice where else your body might be talking to you. Send your breath there and then slowly come back to stillness. Relax your arms by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then allow your breath to settle. Notice any subtle sensations. So trust that the sensations are there. It's not likely going to be a rocket ship across the sky. So is it, and maybe notice where in your body is a sensation, an energy moving through. Maybe it's fatigue, tingling. And so moving on, I'd like to invite you now to sit up nice and tall, and then push down through one foot and then push down through your opposite foot. And so this might be an energetic pushing down. You might notice maybe that you feel one hip more than the other. Roll your shoulders back and down just a few times. Lift up through the crown of your head. So imagine a thread on the crown of your head pulling you up to the sky. Our chin is level with the floor, tucked in slightly. So you might take two fingers, place them on your chin. Imagine a turtle. And from here, I'd like to invite you to take your fingertips to the outside corners of your eyes and tap. So we're going to do a little bit of face yoga. Tap the inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap underneath your collarbones. Tap under your armpit if you're wearing a bra, maybe halfway down your bra strap. We'll repeat this two more times, or two or three more times. So outside corners of the eyebrows. Inside corners of your eyebrows. If you're wearing glasses and you don't mind taking them off, you might like to take them off. Underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap under your collarbones. Reach across to your armpit. Tap the outside corners of your eyebrows, pardon me. Tap the inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap underneath your collarbones. Reach across to your armpit. And one last time. So outside corners of your eyebrows. Inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Underneath your collarbones. Reach across to your armpit. And so take a moment, notice how you feel. And so I'd like you to bring your beautiful hands together and rub your palms vigorously. So energize your hands, warm up your hands. And so if you are blessed with a yoga buddy, this is a practice that can be lovely to practice with someone else. So you'd set an intention of loving kindness, self-nurturing for yourself. And then when you're ready, invitation to just bring your hands apart a little bit. You might notice a little bit of heat between your hands or warmth. Explore bringing them further apart maybe. And take your hands closer together. Turn your palms face up, reach up to the sky. So maybe feeling a lightness. And palms face down, and grounding sensation. So let's bring our hands together again, rub them vigorously. And this time as you're rubbing your hands, I'd like you to notice where in your body you're holding tension or stress. And then see if you can take some of that loving energy from your hands to that place. And rub your hands together one more time. This time, think of a new place. And take your hand or your hands there. And release. Nice. Shake out. And so I'd like to share a practice with you called Breath of Joy. And so, of course, our breath happens naturally. However, we can also use our breath to calm our nervous system or alternatively to energize. And so this practice is earlier in the day. So of course, always starting from a place where we're in our body, relaxed, awake, and so on. We don't start at the top of the mountain. And then moving to a place where we're ready to strengthen and energize a little more. And so breath of joy is an inhale, 3 sniffs in through your nose, unless you're congested. So if you're congested or you have an obstruction, breathe in whatever way you can. So the inhale is 3 inhales through your nose. And then exhale. And so if you'd like, we can add arm movements to it. And so here we go. Make sure that you don't have anything around your person thing that you're going to whack as you bring your arms up. And so here we go. Inhale, 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 and so 3 more rounds. Inhale, 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 and drop. Inhale, 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 and one last time. Inhale, 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 and we'll shake up. All right. So let's take a moment. So make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor, on your foot rest. Sits bones are sharp on the chair, spine is long. Shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head. And so from here, let's come into a practice to release the tension in our neck. And so it's ready. Gently bring your chin towards your chest. And then gently move your gaze up. So maybe your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. And so moving your chin up and down gently. And so I'm going to encourage you to keep that lovely breath awareness throughout your practice. And then as ready, bring your head back to neutral. And then bring your ear gently towards your shoulder. Pause. And then move from side to side. So it might alternatively feel good for you to place your hand on the side of your head, so creating a bit of resistance. And so this is your yoga practice. So you are the world-class expert on your body. And so I'll do my best to share the best of what I know in terms of yoga. And bring your head back to neutral. As ready, turn your gaze looking just past your shoulder. Pause. And then visualize moving your chin up and down slightly. So imagination is powerful. Move your head back through center. Turn your gaze looking just past your shoulder. Pause. Visualize moving your chin up and down slightly. As ready, come back, center. And so we've moved our neck through its range of motion, and now we're going to move down along the spine. And so, of course, we know our spine matters. So I'm noticing that it feels like I'm sitting in the shade now. So I'm thinking visually that might be a bit challenging online. So I'm going to see if I turn my iPad a little bit, if that improves things. So bear with me for a minute. I don't know. You can see me okay. One last try. Sorry. Thanks for your patience. Um, I often say it's not what I look like, but you do need to see me. Or not what we look like, but we need to see each other, maybe. At least the teacher. Okay, so we'll go with this for now. It seems a bit brighter. Yeah. All right. So let's wiggly fidget. Woohoo! Good. So if at any point or at any time you feel that you need to leave the space to take care of yourself, I really encourage you to do so. Feel free to come back to the class or not. Always, you're welcome to have your video on or off. And so if you ever feel nausea, dizziness, or pain, particularly with nausea and dizziness, please come out of the pose or the movement. And with the neck movements, especially if you have dizziness, there might be something going on that you need to get checked out by someone who's qualified to look at that sort of thing. And regarding the pain and pain management, so there's a whole science, and there's been, I guess it would be referred to as a paradigm shift in recent years, pain and pain management / care. And so that's a huge, huge topic. So if you feel pain, I'd like you to, if you would like, to explore the pain that you're feeling. What's registering as pain, is it a muscle soreness or is it actually a joint pain? So if it's muscle soreness, might be that you're stretching and strengthening, moving into places, you've forgotten you have places. Joint pain, on the other hand, is not something that you want to experience in your yoga practice. So you can always find an alternative. So we have a buffet of yoga poses and alternatives that we can choose from. So anyway, moving on. Shoulders back and down just a few times. Wiggly fidgets, little bum dance, feet are firmly planted on the earth. And then when you're ready, an invitation. Actually, let's just move into shoulder rolls now that we've warmed up our neck. And then we'll transition into moving down along the spine. And so hands resting on your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. An invitation to join me in a practice called cat and cow. So as ready, draw your hands in towards your hips. Lift your heart, lift your solar plexus. On exhale, sliding your hands towards your knees, round your back. As you round your back, draw your belly in towards your spine. So it might be an energetic pulling your belly in towards your spine. So on inhale, arch. Slide your hands towards your shoulders, lift your heart, lift your throat. On exhale, round your back. As you round your back, draw your belly in towards your spine. So in your own time and rhythm, for a few more breaths, I'd like to invite you to keep this gentle warm up for your spine flowing. And so move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural, your movements and your breath become one. And then as ready, slowly come back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment to notice how's your breath. Notice any subtle sensations. And so moving on, let's come into a gentle twist. So you're sliding your hands along your thighs. And so this is a gentle twist. We're not moving to our full range of motion. And then as ready, come back to a neutral spine. And so an invitation now to tap your fingers. Tap a little faster. So you might play air piano. So we're getting the synovial fluid, Mother Nature's WD-40 flowing into all the little joints in her hands. Turn your palms face up. And then an invitation to take your fingertips to your thumbs. So they might touch, they might not. And then stretch your palms. Fingertips to your thumbs. Stretch your palms. And then when you're ready, rest one hand on your lap and then circle your wrists in one direction. So is your belly soft? Is your breath quiet? And then reverse the direction. And so if you're a wheelchair user, you use your hands a lot. I'm a super duper ice cream scooper. And so I need to strengthen my wrists, my hands. And so this can be a nice practice for that. And so other side. So whatever we do on one side, we do on the other practice or possible. And reverse the direction. And so notice if you feel one wrist more than the other. So we tend to be, as human beings, tighter on one side. And then as ready, stretch your palms. So extending your arms. Make tight fists, draw your elbows back. Stretch your palms. Tight fists, draw your elbows back. So you might feel your shoulder blades moving towards each other. Stretch your palms. Tight fists, draw your elbows back. And so release your arms down by your side. And now we're going to get some synovial fluid into our elbow joint. So it's ready. Palm face forward. So spiral your palms open. Bend your elbows. Palms face away. And release. Turn your palms face forward. Bend your elbows. Palms face away. And release. So it might be that you're doing both arms, maybe one arm. So focusing on what we can do. And one more time, spiral your palms open, bend your elbows, palms face away, and shake out. And so I'd like to come into a practice called Eagle Pose. Another shoulder opener. So I don't think we're going to get to using the yoga straps after all today. But we'll see. So bend your elbows, palms facing each other. And then an invitation to reach across, cup your elbow point with your hand. And then draw your elbow into the midline. That same shoulder soften away from your ear. And if you'd like, gazing on the horizon, inhale, reach up a little. And exhale. One more time, inhale, reaching up a little. And down. So imagine that eagle perched up in a tree if you'd like. And release. Shake out. And so let's come into eagle pose on the other side. So it's ready, bend your elbows, reach across, cup your opposite elbow point. Fingers reaching up to the sky. Draw your arm in towards your heart with that same shoulder soften away from your ear. If you'd like, and it's available too, maybe reaching up a little higher. And then lower gently. And so eagle pose. And release. So I'd like to invite you to reach one arm across the other, take hold of your shoulders or wherever you can reach comfortably. See if you can walk your fingertips back a little more. Draw up your chin towards your chest. Let your shoulders round towards your front body. And so breathe into the back of your heart. So it's like a little bear hug. And then spread your wings again. Reach up and out. And then remembering which arm was on top previously, cross the other arm on top this time. So it might be elbow point together with your elbow crease. Maybe you can take hold of your shoulders. If that's not doable, it might be that you take hold of your elbow points. Drop your chin towards your chest. Let your shoulders round towards your front body. And so an I love me bear hug. And because I love me, I can love all of you. So like if you'd imagine, if you'd like, they're reaching arms up and out. We're sending everybody a bear hug. Big hug. And then slowly float your arms down. So take a moment, let your belly soften, let your breath quiet. I'm just going to grab my phone so I can keep track of the time. So notice how you feel. So not about what we look like in our yoga practice. A diagnostic tool is how do I feel? And so no judgment. Yoga meets us exactly where we are. And so before the practice today, I was thinking about a phrase, a quote by Krishnamacharya, who's considered by many to be the father of modern yoga. And this has informed my practice and my teaching since I heard it. And it was, he would say that if you can breathe, you can practice yoga. And so I would say that the breath in our yoga practice is the most important piece of the practice. And the next would be the community of like-hearted, like-minded individuals that it brings together. And so on that happy note, I'd like to invite you to come seated comfortably back in your chair in preparation for a short breathing practice and guided relaxation and your final relaxation, so the dessert part. And so it might be that you place a little bit of weight on your lap, so that can encourage a grounding sensation. I hear tell it can help with fatigue. Of course, doesn't work for everyone. Yeah, shoulders back and down just a few times. So sitting comfortably, effortlessly upright. And so the breathing practice that I'd like to share with you is a breathing practice to help cool our body mind. And so we're moving into some pretty hot weather in BC, and I know other parts of the world and the country and the States and so on in Europe. So there's a lovely breath practice that we can use to help keep us cool. And so it's called Sitali or Sikari, depending on how you practice it. And so in interpreted English would be cooling breath. And so the inhale is through a tongue roll. If you're not able to roll your tongue, it's not right or wrong, it's just the way we're made. You might inhale through your teeth slightly parted. Alternatively, if neither one of those work for you, you can imagine you're inhaling through a straw or a little Cheerio. And the exhale is just a nice slow exhale. And so sitting comfortably, effortlessly upright. An invitation to inhale slowly through your nose. And then exhale. And we'll begin. So inhale, rolled tongue or teeth slightly parted or cheerio. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So if my cueing with the breath doesn't work for you, breathe in your own time and rhythm. And so now I'd like to invite you to place one hand on your thigh, bring your other hand on top, and turn your torso in that same direction. And we'll practice this for a few more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Finish your breath that you're on. Come back through the center. And then bring your hands to your opposite knee or thigh, your other hand on top. Turn your torso in that direction. And we'll stay here for a few more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Finish your breath that you're on. Come back to a neutral spine or back center, pardon me. You can even add a little cat and cow movement to this if you'd like. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And so notice if you felt a subtle shift in your energy. And so come on back, seated comfortably for short guided meditation, your final relaxation. And so place your hands palms face down on your lap if you'd like. And so this would be the mudra, hand gesture of calm abiding. And then draw your hands in towards your hip creases. If that placement of your hands doesn't work for you, choose whatever placement you'd like. And so invitation to look down and into your heart, see what you can see. And your gaze can be soft and maybe on the earth or the floor in front of you, or eyes closed softly. And so we can think of, if you'd like, when you bring your hands into a mudra, as a symbol of connecting with your higher self or your higher power. And so breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. So we'll sit and breathe together for a few moments with a gentle reminder. Breathing. And without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. So our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes, hands and feet, waking up. Rub the tips of your fingers with your thumbs if you like, and come on up seated comfortably to finish your yoga practice. And so thank you. Notice how you feel before and after your yoga practice. Questions or feedback, always love to hear from you. So feel free to join me for a little chat conversation. Otherwise, have an amazing summer day, rest of the day. And you notice how you feel, not just today, but the next day or two. And see if you can bring some of that lovely yogic energy into your community, your life, your day. And I'll see you all again soon, I hope. And so thank you, Kausar, my awesome tech host. And yeah, floor is open.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bobbie.
Bobby. Thank you.
It's great. Thank you, Connect. They have
Good night, everyone.
today was one of the best ones I felt